If you're out there sitting on the sideline dreaming of changing your life by becoming a franchisepreneur, but you talk yourself into it and you talk yourself out of it, then this is the video for you. Welcome to Kim Daly TV. My name is Kim Daly and I'm a franchise consultant. I've invested the last 20 plus years of my life helping people just like you to learn about the value proposition of a franchise, and I'm so glad that you've landed on my YouTube channel. So in this video, I want to talk to those of you who stand on the sideline from that corporate job and think, should I leave the job and dive into a franchise? Am I crazy? You talk yourself in and you talk yourself out. I want to list out the pros and the cons of franchisepreneurship versus working for somebody else. But I need your help. This has got to be interactive because I never worked in corporate America. So what good am I? Now, for the first 18 years as a franchise consultant, I worked almost exclusively with executives in career transitions. So while I never worked in corporate America, I have heard thousands of stories from people who have. And so I know the stories, but not firsthand. So if you are following this and what I'm saying resonates, please leave a comment. I want this YouTube channel to be a community of like-minded people who are all daring to pursue their dreams of business ownership, but they want to mitigate the risks by investing in proven franchise systems. So let's talk about some of the pros and cons of working for somebody else. Let's talk about the positives. The positives are that you get to show up to work and you get a salary. All right, that's a big one. That's a big reason why people don't dare jump off the cliff into franchisepreneurship or business ownership, right? Because it's so unknown. So you get a salary. It's known to you. If you've done this job or had a similar role in another company, changing jobs, it's familiar, and familiar feels safe. It's comfortable. It's known. That's good, right? Is it? Only you can decide that. I think some people love working for other people. Maybe you love your job. You love the people that you work with. Maybe that's not why you landed on my YouTube channel. It's not because you dislike your job. It's because deep inside of you, there's something craving, something different, something more. So what are those things? Which then will be the opposite of what you love about working for somebody else. The negatives to working for somebody else are you are trading your time for money. So ultimately, you're building somebody else's dream. You know that better than I know. You have that salary, but on the same side of that coin, you may have capped income, and that may feel limiting. There might be a glass ceiling to how much you can make in that role. You work for somebody who tells you when you have to be there, when you get to take vacation, how many sick days you can have, right? And so that can feel very limiting. It can feel very restricted. So those are some of the downsides to working for somebody else. So now let's talk about the pros and cons of franchisepreneurship. Of course, the biggest negative to thinking about starting your own business is, of course, the risk of losing money. You think, well, I've never owned a business before. I don't have an MBA. Why am I going to dare to take my hard-earned life savings and put it into a business? Because what if I fail? What if you are successful? Now, the other thing you think is about all the risks, because we've all heard the horror stories of people who've invested money in a business and it just didn't work out. And we think, well, why am I going to be any different than them? So most of the fears around business ownership tend to spin in our minds around the money in and the money out equation of owning a business. The other reason that people talk themselves out of business ownership is due to time or timing. Is this business going to require all of my time? I'm not going to have any time to do anything, be there for my family, go to my kids' sporting events. Or maybe it's just the timing in your life. Like, is now the right time to actually make this change? So in my 22 years of franchise consulting, the two biggest reasons people come to me but then end up not investing in a franchise are money and time. So now let's talk about the pros of franchisepreneurship. So let's just talk about the benefits of owning your own business. They're going to be the opposite of the things you experience when you work for somebody else. You get all the control. the control over your personal time, right? No one's telling you when you can be out sick, when you can go on vacation. As the CEO of your business and your life, you can design the business around your life. And in fact, if you're really smart and you worked with me, we're going to pick a business that speaks to where you want the business to operate from. And that alone will define the amount of flexibility you have or don't have, and the time commitment the business will need from you or not need from you. Personally, you get control. Professionally, you get control. You get to show up and use the skills that you enjoy. And you can hire people to do the things that you don't want to do. And then, of course, financially, you get the full reward, which everybody understands. We know that the greatest advantage to owning a business is that glass ceiling. You're going to bust through that. This becomes an unlimited opportunity to grow financially, assuming that you're willing to put the time and the effort into growing personally and professionally. Because we see the financial reward when we become the owner worthy of that business. And that is true even in a proven franchise system. So those are the biggest advantages that people are seeking when they think business ownership. But what are the advantages that the franchise brings to the business ownership equation? Biggest one, of course, is going to be the idea that you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So you're not out there on an island. You're not making it up as you go along. In fact, you're not making up anything. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You are paying a one-time fee to be given a proven business plan that you get to show up and execute on. So if you are great at running an operation, franchising could be amazing for you. If you're like, I don't really have an idea or the vision for how to build a brand, but I know that if there was a good idea, I could execute on it, franchising could be perfect for you. That's the biggest advantage. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You've bought down that learning curve by buying a proven business plan. And now you get the network of support, not just from a corporate office, but also from all of the other franchisees all over the country. Every day, you get to show up for your own dreams. You are no longer trading your time for money. Even if you're working in your business in the beginning, you are not trading your time for money, because all of the reward, the profits from this business are yours. The equity that your business will one day have, that is for your reward. Just like when you pay your mortgage and you build equity, that when you go to sell your house is cash back to you, well, the same thing will be true in the franchise business. All of that equity is yours. So there are some huge upsides. You also get the tax advantage. Maybe you're a high W-2 earner paying in at 37.5%, like the maximum tax, and you have no shelter when you work for somebody else. But over here, with that same level of income coming in, but you may have no tax liability because you have all the write-offs from your business. So it's not about how much we make, it's about how much we get to keep. And dollar for dollar, you have more spending power when you're the employer rather than the employee. And that's a huge advantage. So this video is really about helping you get out of your head and start to make a list of pros and cons for yourself. Put it in the chat. What have I missed? What are some of the negatives of owning a business? What are some of the positives? List out some of the things that you think are pros and cons to franchisepreneurship. I'd love to see what you put, because some of the things that a lot of people believe to be a negative to franchising, like paying evil fees to franchisors, when you get inside and you understand how it actually works, you realize that is not a negative. It's just education or a lack of education. And I have plenty of other videos on this channel of debunking all of the myths and misconceptions about franchising, so you can definitely tune into some of those videos as well. But I want you to see that a lot of the what ifs and the reasons we stay stuck on the sideline are not reality. They're things that you're believing to be true because you're fixating on them, because you're not taking a step in faith to reach out to Kim Daly, who can educate you, not talk you into it, but talk you through it. That's what I'm here to do. It's why I have a YouTube channel. It's why I have a business. It's what I love to do, is help people like you move from this fixed place, all the things that could go wrong, to an imaginary place of what if it could all go right. And then connect the dots to a reality opportunity, a franchise opportunity, where you can take your imagination and connect it to reality and bring the two together and find a future where you get to show up and own it and control it. I hope you found this video to be helpful. I hope you'll tune into more videos. And if there's ever anything that I can do to help you learn about the perfect franchises matched to you, your background, interests, skills, finances, and goals, well, you know that I want to be your daily coach. Thank you for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.